Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Glow Live. Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened, but for some reason, even though I posted it a couple days ago, it didn't go up. So I had to go in real quick a few minutes ago and post the link for it. I don't know what's happening with StreamYard. They have a whole lot of new things going on, newfangled things where you can go horizontal and vertical and all. I don't understand that. I just want the regular old plain simple stuff. But anyhow, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to see all of you here. Whoo, a lot is going on this week and coming up in upcoming weeks. If you didn't see my video that I posted this morning, go over and check it out because I am talking about a lot of it. But let me just say hello to a few of you first and then we'll get into it, shall we? We're going to jump right into the mix of it. Hey, stay tuned. First in the queue today. Hey, Liddell. Hello, hello. One of my members. Oh my goodness. And my moderators, Vaughn's on a roll, Nora from Arcuda 2001. Oh my goodness. I know. Fun times ahead and some crazy, crazy times ahead. Fun times on here, but some crazy times out in this country. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. Uh hello, hello. Surely justice for all. Yes, yes. Whew, that may be a term we may not be knowing too much about. I don't know if things keep on going the way they're going. Hey, Al Dente. Hello, hello. Who else is in the house? Donna, voice and clarity. Go blue. Jays go. Sorry, I couldn't resist saying that. All right. Stay tuned says it's great to be here with all of you. I couldn't find it last week until the replay came out. Oh my goodness, I wonder what happened. Hey, Pattier Wind, Pattier Win. Hello, hello. Vaughn, that crash on 110. How many times did I drive then going to Ooh, there was a bad crash on I-10? Oh my goodness. Oh, I pray that no one was unalived. Um, who else is in the house here? Hey, Diane Castor. Hello, hello. Uh, uh, Musco. Muskogee Land. Hello, hello. Yes, you caught the live. I'm glad you did. And you know what? I really need to put on my glasses. I don't know why I don't have them on. But let me see if I can't find them so I can clearly see you guys and read your names. I know I have glasses around here somewhere. But oh my words. Why do I always do this? All right, I'm going to have to try and do it without it. Bear with me. Uh Kiani, hello, Kiani. I think I got it right from Miami. Hello, not Kiani. Miami. Miami. Okay, Miami. I'll get it. I will get it. Miami. Hello. Hey, everyone's saying hello. Hey, Wanda, how are you? Oh my goodness, my goodness. I can hardly wait to get it. Hey, Tim from Mo Bang for your bucks. Who else? The dinner girl 08. Okay. Dinner girl or diner girl. Okay, diner girl from Massachusetts. Oh my goodness, I used to live in Arlington, Massachusetts for a while. Stay tuned says crazier and crazier. It is getting crazier and crazier. I just wonder how far people, when I say people, those in Washington are going to push this. I'm just wondering. I didn't think they'd go this far. So, but I'm at the point now that I'm not surprised by anything. I don't think. I maybe I shouldn't challenge crazy because it'll rise its head and meet the challenge. Diner Girl and a few others. I think you're new, but we'll be acknowledging you at the end. So hang in here. Hey, Liza. Hello, hello, hello. Nora's niece. Uh have you gotten started or working on your channel yet, Liza? Because I'm here to help you if you when you do decide to. Who else have I missed? Anyone? Hey, Jackie. Any of you who have not seen the tour of Jackie's SUV and heard her explain how she's currently living on $500 a month in her SUV, go over and check it out. Also, Jackie's going to be starting a channel, and she's doing the Bike the Coast. It's this coming weekend, isn't it, Jackie? The Bike the Coast. She's going to be riding. I don't know. Are you riding? They have 5, 10, 15, 50, and 100 miles. Which distance are you going to be riding, Jackie? But she's going to be riding that Bike the Coast. I would be on the lowest one. I'd be on the 5 miles, and I'd probably be on an electric bike. Anyhow, um, uh, Muskogee Land says, "I'm scared to travel to Santa Fe. Will I be okay?" Well, where are you traveling from? And but we'll talk more about that. Um, uh, Ghost Searcher, hello, Ghost G Bose. Oh my goodness. Jibo Searcher. Okay, hello, hello. If I'm not saying it right, just put a phonetic thing so I can get it right up here. Everyone is saying hello, hello, hello. But hey, Rosani Designs and Masquerade, hello, hello. Who else is in the 63 clocks? Hello is here. Yep. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go over there, Jackie, on Friday. So maybe we can meet up over there. Maybe we can meet up. But I'll talk to you before then. We'll talk. I'm curious to see, about this ride going all the way the coast. They're going to go through Oceanside, Carlsbad, Encinitas, Del Mar, La Jolla. I'm not sure exactly everywhere else, but I know that's some of the places that they're going to be going. Um, Mariana 2245. Hey, hey there. Uh Sandy's Serenity Corner. Whoo, boy, we could use some serenity right about now, couldn't we? We all, I think we're before this thing is over, we're going to all be praying for some serenity. Hey, Martha, another one of my moderators, and Tim at Mo Bang for Your Buck is a moderator. Nora, oh my goodness, all these folks in here. Cargo Trailer America, Cargo Trailer America. Okay. Hey, I'm from Lake, Oklahoma. This cargo trailer, Eric. I had to read this stuff. Oh, hard to read this stuff, especially if you're old like I am. Your eyes are wearing out like every other part of you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're riding the 25 mile. Okay. All right. That's quite impressive. Quite impressive. Liza says, "Yes, I work on the channel, but mostly my TikTok." Okay, Instagram and fine. Okay. I want to start on TikTok. Is there anyone out there who knows how to do TikTok? Because I want to get started on TikTok. My goddaughter said she would help me, but they're really busy. They're doing a homestead. They got all this stuff they're planting, and trees and crops and chicken coops and all that stuff. But they're smart because they're trying to go so that they're totally self-sufficient from water. They get water from their well, and also what do you call it? Solar. They're going in because they think that there's going to be a time where you're going to have to be self-sufficient. And I'm agreeing with him. I really am agreeing with him. Uh Jackie says, "My first video is done. Need to learn, edit, and load." Okay, well we'll talk. We'll talk, and maybe I can walk you. Well, it's a lot for me to walk you through it, even though it's very easy. Lisa from Outdoor Dash Travels sat down and went through it with me, and I got it. So I mean, I did have to call her about 4 or 5 times, but I finally got the hang of it, and it's really interesting. It's kind master, but a really really interesting editing program. Um, every, Everyone is saying hello. Hey, Donald, my brother is in the house. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Uh, GBO Searcher used to be the airport code for Greensboro, North Carolina. Okay. All right. So you're in North Carolina. Okay, my brother's in North Carolina, and I may be going back there one day at some point, but I'm not flying right now, not when air traffic controllers are under so much stress and everything's going crazy and they're not getting paid. I'm not flying under those conditions. But Nora says, "Don't forget." Oh, thank you, Nora. Thumbs up, everyone. Carol's channel is growing and thumbs up helps. It does. I don't exactly understand the algorithms, but it does help to have thumbs up, and I think it helps them to share your videos out. Is how partly how I think it helps. Sandra Sandy Robinson, hello, hello. Liza say, I don't have much luck so far with YouTube, but I'm not giving up. Someone from Glow subscribed. All right. Well, I'm gonna go over there and we'll chat about this at some point, Liza, and see if we can't get your channel going. Okay. This is a Oh, hey, Lava Lindy's in here. Hey, Lindy. Hello, hello. Bad internet. We'll be listening. Okay, all righty, Lindy. Hey, Donna. And GBO Searcher says, what ride is she doing? My daughter did the million mile from San Francisco to San Diego. Wow. Oh my goodness, for the Challenge Athletes Foundation. Well, it's called the Ride the Coast, and I think it's for, let me look, it's for a particular group, but I think it is for, um, let me look it up while I'm here. That's one thing about being able to get um, instant information, Ride the Coast is, it's Bike San Diego's Coast, and it is starting November 21st. And I'm trying to see who it's going to benefit. I think it's for um who is it for? Maybe Jackie, you can maybe tell us, but it's either for multiple sclerosis or one of these groups, but it is benefiting and helping a group. But Jackie, maybe, oh, the MS Bike the Coast benefits. It says here the National MS Society. Okay, all right. So multiple sclerosis society. So yeah, Bike the Coast will help the multiple sclerosis society. So uh Vaughn says, I'm serene, give it to God. I give it to him and then I try and take it back, and then I got to give it back to him and then I take it back. So I'm working on that, Vaughn. I'm really working on that, but not that he needs my help, but sometimes I act like he does. Anyhow, everyone's saying hi to everyone. Uh Everyone is still saying hi to everyone. Uh and link your YouTube channel. Okay. Do quick lives, huh? Okay, well we'll talk lives and see what we can't get going with you. Shirley says TikTok wants you to sell stuff for them if you want to be successful. Well, I don't do that hardly on YouTube ever. Well, I have shown a few products, but I am going to be signing up. I keep saying this, but I really am going to be signing up for some brand deals on some products that I really, really, really like, and I'm going to be seeking them out rather than I literally get probably 1,000 offers a month for people who want to send me stuff and want me to promote their products and stuff. Literally 1,000. I say 1,000 a month because I get probably 15 to 20 a day. So 20 a day would be 24, 124, 140, 440, 57. So okay, maybe 5 to 600 a month would be a more accurate number, but a lot. And I've only shown a couple of products in 6 years. So that shows I'm very, very, very selective. But one of the things I want to do, and this is not about products, let me know in the comments here if you would like me to do this. I want to bring someone up an insurance agent, Greg, who I brought up once before, because a lot of things are changing with Medicare. And I know a lot of my viewers are on Medicare. And what I'm being told is a lot of the PPOs are being dropped. In fact, let me read you something from here. I do a lot of research on different things, and let me put this. Well, you know what? I don't want to take all the time now, but let me just tell you, and I'll do a video on it. But a lot of PPOs are being dropped from Medicare. I have a friend who had a liver transplant, and she has to go to UCSD. That's where her transplant doctors are. And you can't just go anywhere when you have a transplant. You've got to have specialists who know what they're doing. Well, her particular plan is going up from 200 and some dollars to $600. And a lot of the plans are even dropping UCSD, or UCSD is dropping them. I don't know how it's working, but a lot of people are finding that their plans that they're on are no longer going to be available next year. And I was reading something, going through, United Healthcare and all of these other, Aetna, a lot of them. They're going to be, from what I can see, probably about 600,000 people who are going to be impacted and have to find new plans. But anyhow, I thought, you know what? Let me bring Greg on and have him answer some questions and have us go over some specific things, because I'm not an expert. I can just tell you there's a problem ahead, but I can't give you the answer to the problem. So I thought, you know what, let me bring an expert on who can give you some answers, or if he doesn't have them, he will know where to look and get them, because a lot of you are going to be impacted. I'm getting ready to sign up again for this year, and I don't know how much is my plan going to go up. It's, and we know that the basic plan for Medicare, which is what, 185 now, is going to go up probably, because it does typically every year, especially if we get a raise. And this year, I'm hearing that the raise for Social Security is only going to be a measly, and I mean a measly, 2.8%. What can you do with 2.8%? I mean, really, that is really insulting, given how much groceries and everything else can go up. But I'm going to see about it. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to bring on an insurance specialist to talk about what's happening with Medicare and who can answer some questions and do it live on the air. Let's see. I'm way behind already. Just started and already way behind on comments. But you know what? Liza says the algorithm rhythm is great because it shows the videos to so many people in your audience. Yeah, when it's working. Muskegee Land says traveling from Oklahoma to Mexico on November 3rd. I don't know that there will be a problem. I think the problem may be mostly at stores, is what I'm thinking. Um, and then I just heard, which I anticipated, but I didn't announce it because I wasn't sure yet. But what I'm hearing is, not only will they not be reloading cards, EBT and food stamp cards, November, but if you have things that are left over, you will not be able to spend those. And that's why I've been but I anticipated that. So I've been telling people, you need to spend anything you have on your cards now. Go ahead and spend them. Don't save it for next month. I was going to say, because you can't spend stuff next month, but even the things that you have that you've carried over from October, or even from um, September, my understanding is you will not be able to spend those funds in November. So they're not going to be paying out any food stamp money, or you can't spend any food stamp money in September. I mean, I'm sorry, in November. So that's who people are going to be really upset, and we'll get into that a little more. Hey, Graham. Okay, we'll start out with a little bit of humor. Graham says the doctor rang and rang and said, "It looks like your bride has been hit by a bus." I said, "That might be true, but she has a lovely personality." Okay, I'm not going over my head, Graham. What can I say? Uh, Mo Bang says, "I'll sell anything for a quick buck." Oh, no, I agree. I believe that, Tim. I do believe that. Uh, oh, 62 Wildcat says, "Hi, not sure if this is you live or recording. This is me, Wildcat. This is me. I'm live." That's funny. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, thank you, Jackie. Yeah, Bike the Coast for multiple sclerosis. Muskie Glenn says, "I keep my shows around 10 minutes. Well, my lives are not. They've been going longer and longer, but this one's gotta end because I have somewhere I have to be by a certain time. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's do some chatting. I'm looking at the comments as I'm going. Sheila Holmes says, I'm in Live Oak, Florida for now to April. Okay, or May. I'll be at the RTR in Quartzsite, Arizona in January. Hope everyone is doing well. Well, I look forward to meeting you there, Sheila. Me and Lindy are planning on having a meetup. But Jay is going to be starting a job, so that's going to impact my ability to stay there for long periods of time at one point. But I really look forward to meeting you, Sheila, and so many of you this coming season at the RTR and in Quartzsite. Caroline, did I miss Caroline? Hello, Caroline, if I missed you. Oh, hello, Caroline. Hey, Caroline Hannah. Thank you for catching that, Tim. I didn't see Caroline. But all right. So for those of you who did see my video that I aired this morning, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But there are a lot of people getting on TikTok talking crazy. I mean, really crazy. But I mean, as a parent who has children, your children may be going hungry. Maybe I can understand why you're going off the deep end. But there are people saying that they're going to be going into Walmarts. What they're going to do and how they're going to take food, whether they have money on their cards or not. I think it's going to get ugly, as it goes. And then I'm hearing I pray this is not true. But I'm hearing that someone talked to someone supposedly who's in the know at the White House who said that this may go into December. If that happens, all HELL is going to break loose because the Congress, and I don't understand this, why, unless, as I said in my video, the intent is to provoke people into acting off the wall and unrest so that the Insurrection Act can be initiated, because there was talk about doing that. But I read up on the Insurrection Act. It's act that was enacted in 1800 and something. I'm not sure exactly the dates, but it says that the president does have the authority to um, bring out the military and to also federalize state national guards if there is unrest and some other conditions, but if there's unrest such that law enforcement can't contain it. And if things get really bad at some Walmarts, I don't anticipate that local police will be able to handle it. I mean, because you've got 41 million people, 41 million people or something like that on food stamps. Now, everyone's not going to be a bad actor, and some people might be able to get help, and some people might have stocked up, as much as you can on food stamps. But there are going to be a lot of people who can't. And there's going to be some desperate people, and desperate people do desperate things. I mean, let's just face it. And what prompts a person to desperation more than seeing their child suffering? You know, I mean, if my child was suffering, I would possibly, well, actually, probably, if it was my only choice, do some wild things to help her. I mean, I think all of us as parents would could be driven to do things that we wouldn't typically do in dire circumstances where our children were going to suffer. or our children were in danger. But what about kids who have diabetes and, juvenile diabetes, and they need to eat certain types of food and they have to eat on a regular basis? Otherwise, their sugar goes all over the place and it literally could be life threatening for them. I mean, whew, but I anticipate that things are going to be very dicey. And the longer it goes, the dicier it will get. And I know, it may not seem like a that big a deal. Oh, well, it's happening in the month that Thanksgiving is happening. But that's a very emotional situation. It could evoke a lot of emotions. The holidays, people are already on edge during the holidays. There are more people doing unalives during the holidays than any other time of the year. There's a lot of depression during the holidays. People look at what other people have and they're depressed because they don't have it or they can't provide it for their kids. And during the holidays, you're going to have all these turkeys out there and all these, you're going to see all these flyers, store flyers about turkeys and sales on pumpkin pies and pumpkin and dressing and everything else. Imagine if you don't have the money to buy food and everywhere you go you're seeing all these flyers, and you go into a store and you see all the displays of cranberry sauce and gravy and dressing and all this stuff. Imagine how that's going to set you off if you don't have the money to get it, or the if you're on food stamps, the food stamps to get it for your kids. I think it's going to be, it's kind of like, how parents would feel at Christmas if they don't have money to buy any gifts for their kids or do anything special. You kind of it has an emotional impact, and it affects people. And I don't think this could happen at a worse time of year than the holidays. And if it goes into the Christmas holidays, I'm sorry. All bets are off. I heard people speculating. Now this is I'm just speculating that it might be not even be all that safe for people who are coming out of grocery stores with big carts full of food. You'll have to be careful. But the other thing I wanted to, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to get to that point. But let me just say this. Like I said on my video, there are somewhere between, depending on what you read, but my research says that 107 billion, that's B with a billion with a B, dollars were spent through food stamps in grocery stores and other stores buying food products in 2023. I don't have the accurate figures for 2024, so I didn't put them up. But let's just say it's still $107 billion, or somewhere in that ballpark of 100 billion. That's grocery stores that are going to miss out on that revenue. My observation has been that when corporations, because a lot of these stores are owned by big corporate entities, that when corporations start losing money, they try to recoup their losses. And they do it in one of two ways, and sometimes both ways. And that is by laying staff off to lower their overhead, and by increasing prices to raise their profit. And from my understanding, and I'm going to look it up real quick here, but my understanding is that grocery stores have probably the lowest profit margin of any retail store. Let me see, how large is the profit margin for grocery stores? I'm looking that up as we go. Um, Says here, grocery stores typically have notoriously slim profit margins, with the average net profit falling between 1 and 3%. This is significantly lower than the average for many other retail stores. Now, I know when I worked retail at a boutique store, the markup for clothes, if they paid $50 for a dress, they marked it up to $100. So they have a 50% markup. Grocery stores, it says their profit is 1 to 3% margin. So that's already, as they said, notoriously slim. So if you've got grocery stores who are already having a slim margin and collectively they're going to lose over $100 billion, I mean, come on now. Who on here really thinks they're not going to increase prices? $100 billion. And the one retailer for groceries who is the largest recipient of food stamps, according to my research, is Walmart, who receives approximately 27% of all food stamps. Now, Costco's in there. They, according to them, I didn't even know Costco took food stamps, but my research, them, Kroger is next, but they're significantly less, maybe about 10% or so. So Walmart, big time. And that's what people were saying, on TikTok, that they were going to be hitting Walmart. We're going into Walmart and we're going to grow shop and we're going to fill our baskets and we're leaving out and you better not stop us. Well, I'm telling you, Walmart's not going to stand by and let their grocery stores on whole and on average get jacked. They're going to either call extra security, because those poor people at the door who are checking the receipts, they already get enough flack, and most of them are older folks. They get enough flack, and sometimes people push them and hit them and everything else. So they're not going to be able, and it would be a danger to them. So they're going to have to bring in extra security. And I heard someone on one program say they think what Walmart may do if it gets really bad in certain neighborhoods is close down and only let there be deliveries for people who have paid for groceries. I don't know. I have no idea what it's going to come to. What do you all folks think it's going to come to? How bad or how good do you think it's going to stay, or how bad do you think it'll get? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to come down here and see. uh Mus Muskogee Land says, I'm grateful for my SSDI and the ability to feed myself. Seriously. Someone said something that I heard a couple days ago, and this is so true. They said, when you give the government the authority to feed you, you also give them the ability to starve you. And that's what we're seeing right now. For people who have depended entirely on the government to feed them through food stamps, they've also given the government, as we see in this instance, the ability to starve them. So I, I'm just saying, I'm going through reading some more comments. Sheila says, I'll be at several meetups for this year and next. Oh, good, Sheila. Um, Muskogee Land says, I'm wondering if all this stuff will disrupt the season at courtside. I don't think so, but I think it could perhaps cause prices to be higher in courtside than we've seen before. And I'll tell you something. Oh my gosh. That McDonald's in courtside, it has the highest prices of any McDonald's I've seen in any state and in any country, because I've seen McDonald's in other countries. I've never seen prices higher at a McDonald's than at the McDonald's in courtside. I kid you not. I mean, those prices are astronomical. I mean, like $9 or $10 for a little order of pancakes that are that small. Not the big breakfast that comes with the egg and sausage and does. No, $9 is something for a small order of 3 pancakes. So yeah, and that's at fast food. You, oh yeah. So yeah. So uh Graham says, the bride is out walking Charlie. I thought I'd better get that one out quick. Oh, there's a fine line between bravery and crazy. I'm hoping that the bride walks in and catches you, Graham. Making some jokes about her. Oh my goodness. Uh I know I'm gonna be, PJ says, "What happened to you not going not going out challenge? Was supposed to start last week, I thought." I'm not going out. I'm not, when did we go? I said the only time I'd go out is if we had free something free. And I had Jessica had 3 coupons for free for 3 breakfasts at Walmart, and I have some points. Oh, I'm sorry, McDonald's. Jessica, not Walmart, McDonald's. A Jessica, she's laughing at me. And I have, some coupons for it was gonna start on a certain date, and I did start on that date. Also, I have points for, McDonald's, like thousands of points where I get free stuff. So I said unless it was free or someone else paid for it. So that's what's happening there, PJ. Um but Graham says you're definitely leaning backwards. Leaning you're definitely leaning towards the crazy. Yeah, we are. We definitely are. Uh Hey, Catherine, fabulous 60s. Hello, hello. But what do you guys think um is going to be happening? Um Catherine says, I'm afraid to try Medicare Advantage, but my husband has had no issues with it. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. I'm not on Medicare Advantage, and I'm not going to go on Medicare Advantage unless I have no choice. And I'll tell you why. I'm not an expert, so don't take this as expert advice. I'm just not going on it because a lot of hospitals in this area have dropped it. I know, I think Scripps dropped it, and a lot of hospitals across the country are not taking Medicare Advantage plans. And on the Medicare Advantage, my understanding that it is a can be a problem getting things approved and some other issues. So as long as I can eke out the money to pay for a supplemental and regular Medicare, I'm going to. How long that'll be, I don't know, but I'm going to hold on tight as long as I can. But honestly, I think based on what I'm reading in Project 2025, I don't believe we're going to have a choice. I think it's going to all go to HMO plans pretty soon where we will not have a choice. As I said, Medicare, my understanding, has dropped a number of PPO plans, and the ones that are still available are going to have significant um, increases from my understanding. But like I said, I will try and bring on a Medicare expert before the deadline for signing up so that we can get some of these questions answered by someone who really knows what they're doing, because I'm just telling you what I hear, but I can't haven't confirmed any of this. But I do know, I can confirm that many hospitals have dropped Medicare Advantage plans because it's hard getting payments, and they have to go through a rigmarole to get certain procedures approved, and doctors are just fed up. So that's, I do know that. Um, I don't know what to tell you, Catherine, but when I bring the expert on, you can ask him and he can tell you. I know some of the Medicare Advantage plans give, like, I know someone who has it who gets like 100 and some dollars in groceries, and some have all some perks that are kind of nice perks. Whether the perks outweigh the disadvantages, I can't say. I don't know because I'm not on one of those plans. Um, um, Uh, PJ says my PPO plan is tripling as of January 1st. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's what is happening. The intent, I believe, based on what I've read in Project 2025, is to get everyone under the same kind of coverage, which is a Medicare Advantage type of program. That is what how I interpret 2025. If anyone else has read Project 2025 and has a different interpretation, let me know. Come on and share that with us. Um, Nora says, I'm sticks and bricks, not going to travel that far out. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be something that would be advantageous for Nora to do. Um, yeah, preferred provider organizations. PPO is where you have specific a PPO, you can pretty much choose what doctor you want to go you want to see. You don't have to you don't have to get pre-approval for most things. You don't have to go to a network. An HMO, they have a network of doctors. They have a that you can only see, is my understanding. Now, PPO, you have preferred plan, and if your doctor's in the preferred plan, now you can go out of that, but you would pay more. But you can go to whatever doctor you want to go to. You can go to the pretty much the hospital you want to go to. When you're in a HMO, you have to go to specific hospitals. You can't necessarily go to the hospital you want to. And I want to be able to choose the top rated hospitals to go to if I have a condition. I want to be able to choose the best doctors, the best cardiologists. I just that's just, as I get older and have more issues, I want to be able to be confident that I'm comfortable. And I want to choose someone who I'm comfortable with. If I'm not comfortable with a doctor, I want to be able to change to someone that I am and not be greatly, greatly restricted. And I don't want to have to call and get authorization and maybe not get it approved, to go. I just don't want to go through all that. But, at some point I may have to. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. Uh yes, that's true, PJ. Um yeah, yeah, RV keep trolling says, "Yeah, I am too. It goes up more than our raise." Yeah. Yeah, the I mean, it's an insult. It's really an insult to give Social Security recipients a 2.8% increase. And I'm I know I'm getting on a soapbox, and I'm just going to get on it for a second, but I'm going to just say this. It pisses me off that we're getting a 2.8% increase. Food stamps are being stopped, but we're sending, who is it? Argentina, what now it's $40 billion. What the HE is going on? That that is crazy. That's absolutely insane. That money needs to be spent here on American citizens, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that. Um uh Catherine says 2.8, that absorbs plan B rate increase. Yep, yep, yep. So you're saying Medicare Part B premium for 2026 is 206, so from 185, so it went up $21. Oh my goodness. So $21 plus the tax that you'll pay on the increase. It's a moot point. It's a moot point. Oh my goodness. Um Catherine says they say stay out of grocery stores first week of November. Well, I am going to stay out of Walmart the first week of November because that's what everyone who went online talking about how crazy they were going to get was saying they were going to go to. So I'm not going to Walmart the first week in November unless I was going in Beverly Hills, which I don't even know. Is there even a Walmart in Beverly Hills? But I wouldn't be in Beverly Hills anyhow. But yeah, no, I'm not going to Walmart or Dollar Tree, in anything where I think people who might frequent, who have food stamps, might be going into, because I just don't need the aggravation or the trouble. And I certainly don't want to witness employees getting, verbally abused or worse. So, although it might be for some interesting videos, maybe I'll have to reconsider. Maybe I'll go into the parking lot so I can just report to you guys what is actually happening and if anything does happen. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Um, PJ says if you have leftover, buy dry or canned goods that don't perish. Yeah. I would say now this is not good because Spam has a lot of salt. They do have a less salt product, but even that has a lot of salt. But corned beef, tuna, chicken, sardines, a lot of these things we looked at some Spam or corned beef in cans the other day, and it was good till 2028 or 2029. So yeah, I would say if you have any left, stock up on those because you can get some delicious meals using these and not as the main course, but as a filler in for meat. But I'm going to be doing some videos next week and I do some poor man videos sometimes. Well, I'm going to be doing some poor man videos next week showing you, how to do some really low cost and how to stretch some of these um basic supplies. So if you want me to do that, if you really want me to do that, let me know. But that's what my plan is for next week. So we'll see. Um, Muskegee Land says, I will spend the $95 now before I travel. I think that probably would be a good idea. I think I would, even if you're not on food stamps, I think it would be wise to do your grocery shopping for next week or for the 1st of November next week before the 1st comes. That's just what I think. But, people are going to say, oh, you're alarmist. Oh, you're fear mongering. No, I'm just saying, what does the Bible say? When things come, when you see certain signs and wonders and signs, you know that things are getting close. If you see trees sprouting and green and stuff, spring is coming. Well, when you see people going on saying what they're going to do, and you see that children are not going to have food, you can kind of predict that something is going to happen. We don't know what, but I am anticipating. And as such, I'm just going to be prepared in advance. We went grocery shopping, did all our grocery shopping for the rest of the month and for into November. We've already done it so that we're prepared. And I'm actually going to buy another freezer for my home and stock that up, because I don't want to have to deal with it if I can avoid it. Um uh RV keep trolling says my daughter already got a message. She won't get hers. I need to tell my daughter to use hers and just stock up. Yes, because my understanding is um not only will it not get cards will not get refilled for November, you won't be able to spend what you have already on your cards. So I would encourage you not to take a chance. That's just what I'm saying. Al dente say, Lindy, it is 206. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Someone saying the new price for Medicare is going to be 206 a month. PJ said, what happened? Oh, I already read that. Uh, I'm looking at Marta says, Catherine, I work as a greeter at one, so I have to show up. Well, what I would do, Marta, if I were a greeter at any of these stores, I would get with my management and I'd ask them what they're going to do to protect us. And, I think here's what I think. I think all the employees need to get together as a group and go speak to the manager and say, we're concerned about our safety. Are we going to be what's going to happen if people refuse to show their see, as a manager of a Walmart, I would not be putting my staff safety at risk. If people refuse to show their tags or their receipts, don't try and stop them because people will get hurt. So do not try and stop them. Maybe have police on speed dial or some plan in place, but do not put this burden and this responsibility on these poor greeters at the door. And I'm telling you, if you're a Walmart greeter, Martina, Don't try and stop people. If they don't want to show you their receipt, just step back and let them go. Don't try and argue with them, fight with them, hold them there, because it will not be a good situation for you. Don't put yourself in that kind of danger. If Walmart wants to protect its property and its products, then they need to take additional measures and bring other people in, but not put it on their greeters. You're not getting paid enough to put your safety at risk. I'm sorry. And even if you were getting paid a lot, it's still not worth it because you could be disabled permanently. No, um Muskegee Land says, I have $4,000 saved in emergency funds. Good for you. That is a smart move. Um, I just would try not to spend it. I'm going to do a video. I've been thinking of all of these ways for, because I know that there must be a lot of my viewers who are on food stamps and get SNAP. Because I have a lot of low income seniors. So I'm going to prepare a video and do it next week, and I'm going to show you some ideas I have on how to get food um, if you can't get it through your food stamp card. I'm going to come up with I've made a list of ways that I think will work for you to get food, and I'm going to share that with you sometime next week. Whoo, we just have to work together, you know. Oh, Luna Batty says, hit by a bus means ugly. Shame on you, Graham. Oh yeah, wait till I catch up with the bride, Graham. I'm ratting you out. I am snitching on you. Talking about your bride's been hit by a bus. Oh boy, well you're going to be hit by more than a bus, Graham, if she finds out what you said. Vaughn says, Lindy, I've heard some it's going up $200 to $400 a month. Wow. Wow. Lindy says, okay, 50 cents more. Thanks. That makes a difference. Oh my goodness. Is that crazy or what? Is that something? Is that something? RV keep trolling says, I don't get any help, but I do work 3 days a week. I have to even in pain. I am so sorry to hear that, RV trolling. Uh, you know, but maybe start a YouTube channel. I'm telling you. I do have a video I've been wanting to do and I'm going to do. I just haven't been able to get with this person. It's on a way that I think all of you could not not a whole lot of effort make an extra at least $300 to $500 a month. At least $300 to $500 a month. As soon as I can get together with this person and we can do this video, I'm going to show you, because I'm going to be the guinea pig and I'm going to do it first and show you how it works out for me, and then we'll go from there. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to really focus over between now and the end of the year. I'm going to do some tours and those kind of things. And one of my viewers came on and did a comment and said, I used to watch you because you were so lighthearted and had so much fun. And, I really, like the upbeat, and not the kind of the bad news. Well, I get that. And I do understand that. And I still want to do fun videos and upbeat tours and those kind of things. And I'm going to do some cooking, but I have to, I feel that I am just obligated, and I feel compelled to share with you what's going on so that those of you who will be impacted can prepare. I think I would be remiss in my duty to you as a YouTube creator, to my audience, and an audience who will be impacted if I know information, if I find out information and I don't share it with you, information that you could use to protect or make yourself in a better situation. So I'm going to continue doing that. And yeah, there are some crazy, scary things going on right now. So some of the things I will be reporting on will be crazy and scary. But I will also try and keep that in mind, what she said, and also will try and give still do some uplifting and fun, not all downers. Okay. That's what I'm going to try. Oh, thank you, Vaughn. Vaughn said, congratulations on your job. She says thank you. Yes, she's so excited, so excited. And I'm so excited for her. She's been trying so hard to get a job. And I tell you, it's not easy, especially if you have no experience, because you've got people out there with master's degrees now working at Starbucks and stuff, you know? So these kids are having a hard time competing with people, you know? Uh, Al Dente says, Lindy just trying to be accurate. Okay. Hey, Cheryl. We just talked yesterday, and I sent you over the link, Cheryl, to that YouTube channel that I was telling you about to go watch. So I sent it over to you, and I sent you over another video that I think is going to crack you up, but watch it all the way to the end. But PJ said, those of you that have gone to RTR or anything else in Arizona, that do crafts, do you sell them there where you are set up to camp, or do you get a space there to sell? Where you're not allowed to sell things on BLM land. So you'd get into pretty big trouble if you did that. So I don't know who gets booths and who doesn't get booths. But what you might do is you might check with RTR. Maybe they would let you get a booth at the RTR, because you can't just set up and start selling things at RTR. But since RTR is in a park and not on BLM land, I imagine you can sell there, but you'd have to go through RTR to do that. And if I were you, PJ, what I would do is I would get with a couple of other people and maybe go, if you're going to do a booth, go in on a booth, get a booth together, so you're only maybe paying, get a small booth and go in and maybe only have to pay a third of the booth if you have 3 people go in on a booth together. If I were going to go get a booth in Courtside, that's what I would do. Okay. uh yeah, everyone can't do TikTok, PJ, but I'm planning to do it. 3 generations. Hey, hello, Iris. How are you? Uh, thank you, thank you. Hey, Simplicity. Hello, hello. Let's see. Everyone's saying hello to Cheryl, and RV Trolling says, I hope they don't break the law, because we end up with, yeah. And I talk about that. Go over and watch the video, because I talk about that, and what I think may be happening as far as that. But I hope they don't, because if they get arrested, then not only will their kids not have food to eat, they won't have a parent. But you know what? I want to dispel this myth that a lot of people think, because you get a lot of crazy people going on TikTok bragging about how many thousands of dollars they get, and how they don't have to work. I mean, they're dumb, and a lot of them, fortunately, have been turned in or snitched on, and they've now lost their food stamps. But I was reading some statistics, because I'm always doing research, because I used to be, a investigative journalist and an investigator for, superior courts. And one of the things that I found out was that I think it's 65% of households with children in them have at least one working adult in that household. So this myth that everyone on food stamps is just sitting up there taking on the dole, taking in food stamps, a lot of families that are on food stamps, these are working people. They just don't make enough to be able to pay rent and everything else and buy food. So just to dispel that notion that everyone on food stamp is lazy and not working, that's not the truth. That's not the case. Everyone is saying hello, hello. Hey, always wondering hello from Southern California. Hey, we're down here. I'm down here too. Uh PJ says, Carol, those who believe in God really need to pray for both sides to get things back to work and to get together. I agree. I agree. It used to be that, they both sides, they would argue like the Dickens, in chamber and everything else, and then they'd go out for a drink, and and they would, maybe not be friends, but they would be friendly, or they at least be cordial. But things have gotten so nasty where it's like a fight to the end. It's like they don't want to leave the other side even standing. They want to annihilate them. If you don't agree with me, I just want to take you out. it's the mindset is not, let's find a solution where we can work together and help the people. That is not the mindset. It's like, my way or I'm taking you out. And if I have to harm the American public in order to do that, so be it. They're collateral damage. That's the attitude that they're displaying. And I think it's sickening. I really do. Um, yeah, Muskegon Land, I'm coming to the conclusion too that a lot of this is intentional. That's that's the that's the conclusion I'm coming to bring us to a point where we all bend our knee and give in to the plan that's in place and that is wanted to be implemented. That's the conclusion I'm coming to. Deborah says our governor is doing some kind of emergency deal with Louisiana, is getting their food stamps. Really? Interesting. Because I'll tell you what, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, there are going to be folks in some of these states that are truly, truly going to suffer. We have states that still have a minimum wage of, I think it's 7.25 an hour. 7.25 an hour, with the cost of food going up like it is, minimum wage being 7.25 an hour, and there are a lot of people only getting paid 7.25 an hour. So, but it's not even easy to find a minimum wage job these days. I mean, those jobs are being snatched up as quickly as people can find them, you know. Al Dente says the stores are not going to stand by and get looted. No, I agree. I, I wouldn't. If I owned a store, I wouldn't stand by and get looted. You know, the no. I think some will go back to the old days where you come with a list and a clerk goes and gets the items. Yeah, they're going to yeah, if this happens, which I think it will happen in some places, these stores are going to they're going to step in and they're going to change some policies real quick, fast, and in a hurry. You're right, Al Dente. I do not think they're going to. It's only going to happen to have to happen a few times, and they're going to shut it down. They are going to shut it down. One guy, like I said in my video, like I said, go watch it. But he said, I haven't been able to confirm that he's a Walmart employee, but he claimed to be a Walmart employee. And he said people had already gone in and started looting there. And he said it would pose such a danger to staff. But I think it's also because of the loss to the store that the store closed down. That Walmart closed down that day. But here's the other thing that people don't realize, and people can be sometimes so short-sighted. I know when people are desperate, they do desperate things, but think about it for a minute. If you're in a low income area and you go in and you start looting the stores and causing mayhem and all kinds of stuff, that store may just close down. And then you're going to have a food desert. Then you're going to have, I know it happened in Oakland and areas, stores closed down. You're going to have areas where people will have no grocery stores, or they'll have to go to the local gas station where prices are 5 times higher to get very few items and no fresh fruits or vegetables and only processed foods. If folks do this, as my mom said, they're going to be biting off their nose to spite their face, because some of these stores rather will close, and then they will have nowhere to shop in their community or in their neighborhood. It But again, desperate people don't think logically often, you know. But thank you, John. Says Carol, you make my day with your postings. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. I so appreciate your support. I think you made a comment that I responded to in my comment section. Thank you. It's so encouraging because it lets me know that people appreciate the research that I do and that the information that I provide is helping you. And that's my goal, is to help provide information that can be useful and benefit people and give you kind of a heads up as to what's coming down the pike so you can prepare. You guys all know my saying, preparation is the antidote to fear. So if you're prepared, you don't have to be as scared, you know? Um, Three Generations is saying hey to Poppy. Sandy says, according to USDA, any SNAP benefits loaded before November 1st can be spent. Some news agencies have reported differently. Well, I'm going to look that up, Sandy, because what's being reported is that they can't. So I'm going to look that up. In fact, let me look it up now. Maybe we can find it now. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I love this, being able to look up stuff. You guys ask me questions. Let's see. Can food stamps or EBT? Let's see. Can EBT money? Let's see. Money loaded before November 1 be spent after November 1. Let's see what it says. Oh, it says right now that any EBT money loaded before November 1 can be spent after November 1. So I stand corrected based on what it's saying on AI right now. So I stand corrected. Um, will not be oh, well, here's what it says. Any benefits currently on your will not be removed and will not expire. So what does that mean? Will not be removed. So they'll stay on your card and they won't expire, but they don't expire anyhow. You can carry them over from month to month. It says can be spent after November 1st. So that's not clear. Let me just say this. They can be spent after November 1st. Maybe they can be spent in December or January if the shutdown goes, but it doesn't say can they be spent if there's let me see. Let me ask it a different question. Can EBT funds loaded before November 1st be spent during a government shutdown after November 1st? That's the question we want to ask. Okay. It says, yes, you can spend EBT funds that were loaded onto your card before November 1st during a government shutdown after that date. Okay. Well, that's what it's saying. So, but let me just tell you this. Remember when they had the clunkers for cash thing during Obama where you can turn in your clunker, your car that was high mileage and get one that was lower mileage. And they were giving like $6,000 or $7,000 towards it. And they said this program is going to go through, I think it was December. It started maybe in September and it was going to go through the end of December or something. I went down and I traded mine in the very first day that it opened. And the car dealership they weren't even really ready. They said, I said, I want to do it today. I want to do it today. They said, well, don't worry. It's going till the end of December or something. I just said, nope, I want to do it today because I anticipated that they were going to run out of funds and not be able to honor people coming in. And guess what? I think it was within 3 weeks they ran out of funds. So, yes, they may allow that, but I predict that they will run out of funds to honor those. That's my prediction. So, but right now, what it's saying is that they will honor them according to the internet. And you're saying, Sandra, that the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture says so. But so people, you have to make your own decisions. As for me, I would not wait. I would do it now. I wouldn't take any chances. But you have to do what you think works for you. I'm just praying that we don't even have to worry about it, that this, when they come back, I pray that when they come back on the 27th, which is Monday, that they will sit down and they will act like they have good sense, and they will come to and they will rack out a settlement. Because if they don't, in another, what, 2 weeks, they'll be going on Thanksgiving shutdown. Let me see when Thanksgiving shutdown. When does Thanksgiving break start for Congress? These clowns, they shouldn't be going on. They shouldn't have any Thanksgiving. No Thanksgiving, no Christmas, no squat until they get this solved. They don't get to have Thanksgiving. They should not. Let's see. When does Thanksgiving break start for Congress? Let's see what it says. Thanksgiving break starts around November 24th. So probably earlier than that, because the calendar is let's see the calendar for November. Thanksgiving is on the 28th. So actually it'll probably start around the 21st. So they'll probably have about 3 weeks or so to get this resolved before Thanksgiving. Why do we go through this every time? Why do we have to go through this every time? They know it's coming up. Why don't they get together and start doing this months in advance and have it so at least a month in advance they have it already done, rather than put the American people through this? It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. If we performed like this on our jobs, we would be fired, you know. Muskegee Land says, I would avoid big cities like LA and Chicago. That might be a good idea, Muskegee Land. That might be a good idea. Al Dente says, with online viewing, it is easier now than 100 years ago. I know. It's you just go on, ask questions, and you got to. That's one thing I love about the internet. But there are some bad things about it too. But that's one thing I love. Hey, plain vanilla grandma. Hello, Carol. How are you? Good to see you. Lisa R. Hey, Lisa R says, thank you for the advice from your first video. I spent all my food stamps on smart things this month. Good job. Great job. I'm proud of you. I think you're a smart woman. God bless you. Walmarts around here I live are locking up a lot. Yeah. Walmart's I went into a Walmart a while back and they had locked up the toothpaste. And I asked someone, why are you locking up the toothpaste, for crying out loud? No one's going to steal it. She says, well, we have a lot of homeless people. So a lot of homeless people steal toothbrushes and toothpaste. And I was like, oh my goodness, I never even thought of that. I mean, the things, so they're locking up, they have makeup. The Walmart I go in never had the makeup and any of that stuff locked up. It's all locked up. She said they're having so much theft. And the area that I go in, it's a fairly, I mean, it's a real middle class area. It's not a low income area, but yeah, they're locking up everything under lock and key. Pretty soon, I went into one store. This was during the pandemic or shortly thereafter. They had electronic tags on meat. So if you went out the store without paying for it, it beeped. Ooh, buddy. Oh my goodness. Wow. PJ says, I think that giving so much credit to the bad that it ultimately gives people ideas to do things that they would not normally do. No, I don't think it's giving people ideas. If a person is going to go in and loot a store, they're not going to do it because I'm telling you what other people are doing. They're going to do it because that's in their heart to do, and that's who they are, and they're going to do it. Me seeing someone say they're going to go loot a Walmart would not prompt me to go loot a Walmart. Okay. So you have to already be inclined in that direction to do that. Now, if someone goes online and gives me a tip about some stock tip or some budgeting tip or something like that, yeah, I'd be inclined to follow that. But I'm not going to be inclined. I have to disagree with you on that, PJ. That I just have to disagree on that. Tim says, how are they going to feed and house the military with no budget? If I was still in military, I would say, sorry, I have no money to put gas in my car to get on base. Oh gosh, well, they'd probably make you stay on base. They say, okay, if you have no gas to get on base, then you're gonna be ordered to stay on base. So I don't think I whatever you can come up with, Tim, they're gonna come up with something to go around it. You know how the military is. Come on now. Diane says, yes, it can be life threatening for a diabetic to go without food. Yeah, it can. It really can. Um, Shirley says, I've heard conflicting reports about whether or not the benefits are ready. Yeah, well, we just went over that. So, yeah, it appears from what they're saying that benefits on your card will be able to be spent in November. But personally, I would not take the chance. But you know what? Everyone has to make that decision for themselves, you know? And I guess it could be a problem if you don't have any place to store the food. That could be a problem, you know. Me too, John. I would stock up just in case. Simplicity by Jackie says nothing surprises me anymore. I know. I keep nothing surprises. After this, I don't know if I can be surprised. I think I can be horrified still, but I don't think I can be surprised anymore. But I don't know. I don't want to challenge surprise. Adele is saying hi, one of my great moderators. And members. Vaughn said, Mo Bang, I saw something that soldiers are having to go to food banks, but I think they're getting paid now. I heard something that soldiers were going to get paid. In fact, let's look that up and see that they had made some special provision or something. But yeah, but you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Soldiers' families have gone to food bank even before this happened because their military pay is not really high for entry level and low level military members. So that's not surprising that they're having to go to food banks now. Are the military currently getting paid? Are the military currently getting paid during the shutdown? It says it says maybe this isn't up to date, but it says active military members are not currently getting paid during the government shutdown, which began October 1st. So it says their paychecks. Let me ask a different question. Have special arrangements been made to pay the military in October? Okay, here's what it says. Due to the government shutdown, special arrangements were made to pay U.S. active duty military members for the October 15th payday. So special arrangements. I don't know if they got it on that day or after that date, but it says, but the status of the October 31st pay is uncertain. So it says on October 11th, President Trump announced that he would use his authority to direct the Department of War to use all available funds to pay active duty troops on time for their mid-month paycheck. So for their mid-month paychecks, it looks like they may have gotten paid for the October 15th. So mid-month, but it doesn't say anything about any special arrangements being made for the end of the month. I guess maybe he's waiting to see if this is going to be resolved because they're getting back together to meet on the 27th. So I guess they're going to check and see how things go come the 30th, if there's going to be some funds available. I don't know. That's a good question. I guess we'll have to just wait and see. Lindy says, just be safe, stock up a little bit as much as you can. I agree, Lindy. I absolutely agree. Catherine says, glad hubby is a vegetarian and we haven't been invited anywhere. Not cooking. Oh goodness. Things are going to be scarce due to tariffs. I agree, Martha. I think that's going to have an impact on things too. Uh, Vaughn says, Mo Bang, I saw something that soldiers are. Oh, yeah, we already read that. Yeah, they are. Families are going to food banks for soldiers. Um, Let me get down here and get some of these comments to see some of my. Um, yes, Vaughn said, Lindy, rice, beans, and canned vegetables with seasoning can be delicious. I saw a recipe the other day, which I pretty much a recipe that I kind of use anyhow, but I'm going to do one that I think is going to show you how to really stretch um, a budget. You know, I'll tell you, it's amazing what some diced onions, some bell pepper, some garlic, and some seasoning can do to beans, to beans, rice, and just a little hint of something in there. Put a little bit, if you got some spam, a little bit of this spam or a little bit of the, you know, although that wouldn't be my first choice. Although someone I knew, she had a problem with excess salt. What she would do is she would soak her ham in ginger ale, and she said that drew a lot of the salt out of it. I don't know if it works, but I might try it with spam and see if it works. Soaking it in ginger ale to see if it soaks, if it draws rather the salt out. But hey, Randy, Randy. Oh my goodness, Randy Bailey. Hello, hello. Um, I am going to go down. I know I'm skipping a lot of comments. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get to some that to see if they answer some of my specific questions. Sandy said they'll increase prices to cover the losses from theft. Walmart has a lot of other products with higher markups. Yeah, they do have other products besides food, but yeah, that's true. That's true. Cheryl Cat says there are many ways for supermarkets to make money aside from markups. They have a lot of loss leaders, and there are uh, political fines and payments hmm, for, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. They have loss leaders means they take a loss on something to get you into the store so you buy other things. But if you don't have money, if you don't have food stamps, it doesn't matter if you go in the store, you don't have anything to spend, and they're going to be losing 107 billion or somewhere in that neighborhood worth of revenue. So that's nothing to sneeze at. That's a lot of money lost to these grocery stores, you know. Um Uh, Luna Batty says, yes, Lindy, I was one of the recipients of checkers, right? I'm not sure I missed that comment because I've skipped some, but RV says, I already hit thumbs up when I came in. Thank you guys. Hit the thumbs up. I'm going to do a couple more comments and then I got to get out because I've got to be somewhere by 5 o'clock and it's almost there now. John says, I was at a Whole Foods yesterday. My favorite brats went up $3. Wow. That's a lot of money for one item, but you know what? Things are going up, 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 and the amount is going down of that's in it. I buy the trash compactor bags for my van for the toilet in there, and they were $7 the last time, seven something the last time I bought them, and this time at Walmart they were $9 and something. So they went up quite a bit. Yeah, everything. Oh, Uh, no, it's not nice to attack anyone, any worker at Walmart. Shannon across America says, A lot of them are on welfare. Yeah, a lot of them are low wage earners who are just working to try and survive. A lot of seniors trying to supplement their social security. Hey, Louisa, Lauren says they are blaming Trump, but it's the Democrats' party because they want to give illegal. No, no, that's not what's causing this. I have to disagree. That's not what's causing this food. And first of all, illegal immigrants do not get medical care. Please look it up before you come on here saying this stuff. They do not get, you have to be legal. Whew. Maybe going to an emergency room. If you have an emergency, I don't think emergency rooms can turn down someone with an emergency. But please, this is a lie that's been perpetuated. Please go up and let's just look it up right now. Maybe let's do a little education session before I go. Are illegal immigrants entitled to medical coverage? Illegal immigrants, more commonly referred to as unauthorized immigrants, are individuals who are not U.S. citizens. This includes blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, this is the wrong one. Are illegal immigrants entitled to medical insurance? Oh, how did you say it? Okay. In the United States, undocumented immigrants are not entitled to standard medical insurance such as federal programs like Medicaid or the Affordable Care Act, which is for some people don't realize that that's also the same thing as Obamacare, marketplace plans. The federal law requires most hospitals with emergency departments to provide medical screening, exam, and stabilizing treatment to anyone. But it says under certain conditions, if a person is here on a certain status, if they're here and they have been declared someone who is fleeing a war-torn zone, such as I don't know, Ukraine. But Ukraine people would not typically be sneaking in. They would be have been transported here. But anyhow, please go look that up and get some more information on that. Um, Catherine says we are stacking up before the first of the month for sure. We already have been actually. Yeah, I had already been, prepping a little bit, starting to prep even before because I know that prices are going up. So I'm trying to get things that I use a lot of now before prices continue going up, up, up. And in case there's a problem, and with tariffs, maybe there's a problem with the interruption of food supplies. I just like having enough water and food to last for a while. But I have MRIs, those 25 years. I mean, good golly, how knows if they're good for your body or whatever, but at least it'll keep you from dying a death of starving. But anyhow, RV keep sleep. I'm sorry, RV keep trolling says, I'm afraid our Social Security could be affected if this doesn't end. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't because it's from a different fund. It's from a trust fund. But like I said, at this point, nothing would surprise me. But I really don't think that's going to happen. At least not now. Um, I just don't think that's going to happen as a result of this shutdown. I think there are other things in play that may happen, but I don't think our Social Security is we're going to miss getting our Social Security checks because of the shutdown. I really don't think that's going to happen. 63 Clock says if health insurance prices rise as much as predicted, people will have less money to buy food. Major increases coming soon. Well, what's going to happen, 63 Clocks, is that people are not going to have health care. That's what's going to happen. People will just not be able to afford medical care. And that's one of that's the battle that's going on right now, in Washington on the Hill, is, is to not stop the subsidies. Right now, there are subsidies. I'm not an expert on that, and I really need to do more research. But from what I have researched, there are subsidies, government subsidies that go in and help people on Affordable Care Act, and I'm not sure of other things, but Care Act, also known as Obamacare, that keep their portion or their contribution to their medical plan lower because it's subsidized. It's just like if someone is living in subsidized housing and it's $1,500 and they only have to pay $300, the government subsidy pays the other $1,200. Same thing with these medical programs and these subsidies. People who qualify, their medical coverage is subsidized and they pay a small percent or a smaller percent than they would otherwise pay. If those government subsidies are removed, people will be paying, in certain instances, I've heard up to 400 times more. So if you're paying $100 a month, now you could be paying $400 a month. And if you qualify to pay only $100 a month, that means you must have a pretty low income. And if you have a pretty low income, chances are you will not be able to pay $400 per month. Just like Jackie had to take off all of the things on her insurance down to liability. Well, people who are having these medical plans go up, they're gonna say I can't afford it, and they're gonna just not have medical coverage. And anyhow, all right. Yes, Libby, I didn't know that. Costco takes EBT, but not American Express. But a 2-pound bag of coffee has gone up $2 in the past month. Don't know how I'll manage non-food shelf goods, dairy, non-canned in a couple months. Well, I think, like the food banks have been saying, um, people who normally don't go to food banks are now going to food banks. Federal employees, I'm sure, are going to food banks. As someone said earlier, military employees are going to food banks. People are going to food banks who in the past never would have had to do so, but they're having to do so now because, they just don't have enough. They can't stretch their pay enough to cover food. And that's just a shame. Vaughn says a lot of Walmart workers are on food stamps too. That's true. That's very true, Vaughn. Oh, Carol River says, why do prices keep going up when there is an obvious oversupply of food? I don't know if there's an obvious oversupply of food, Carol. I don't know where are you getting that from? I'm not saying there's not, but I haven't seen it. So where are you getting an oversupply of food? Because when I I've made some calls and I've spoken to some people at some food banks, and I'm going to be doing more of that. But they're saying they're running out of food. They're not able to. They're anticipating they're not going to be able to meet the need, and they're already having difficult time keeping up. So when you say oversupply of food, how are you coming to that conclusion? I'm just curious. RV Trolling says, "Oh my goodness, my coffee has almost doubled." I know someone did a video recently on a thing of coffee at Costco that was $9 or $10, $9.99 a year ago, and now it's $20 a can. The same can has doubled, not gone a couple dollars in price. It's actually doubled in price. Yeah, it's too expensive to eat out, Luna, unless you got coupons for free. I have a gift card for Olive Garden, and I've been holding on to it, holding on to it, holding on to it, and I think I may use it to celebrate near my birthday. I think I've held on to this for about no, a year and a half maybe. I haven't spent it, and I have another one for Einstein's Bagel. I mean, I have these gift cards, so I'm just holding on to them for dear life. They're just, like gold. Um, yeah, it is Martin one. It's called price gouging. Yeah, Lisa Beckerman says go to church pantries. Yep, I agree. And Google extreme budget recipes. Absolutely. Good advice, Liza. Good advice. Uh, RV keep trolling says I pay 3.21 for my egg and cheese biscuit at Hardee's. Not bad. 3.21. Well, Jess got had 3 coupons for free sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit at McDonald's. So we got some free. That's my favorite 4-letter word, FREE. You know me, folks. All right, folks, I am going to get like make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here. Um yeah, Caroline, it is crazy that McDonald's in Quartzsite. It's and I wonder if their prices also go up during this season, because I've heard someone was saying that certain fast foods now during busy times they increase their prices. I was like, "What?" That's just downright greedy. Downright greedy. Cheryl says, Vaughn's, I'm okay, thanks. Recovering wasn't an accident. Hit and run, but we got the guy. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that, Cheryl. I hope you do well and recover, have a full recovery. Hit and run. What a jerk. What a jerk. Al Dente said McDonald's has sausage McMuffin with egg for $2.50 on their app. Wow. Yeah, we have an app. I have an app, and sometimes they have it really, really cheap. They'll have sometimes, we were getting 2-for-1 sandwiches, but we don't even do that anymore. You know. I know. Jessica, Luna says Jess is so smart with collecting cans and finding those receipts for McDonald's deals. I know. She says thank you. You know how annoyed I get, but we I have to say we went into McDonald's to use one of her free coupons, and she was going through the trash. I was like, Jessica, please stop, please. Jessica said to tell you all that Monopoly is back at. She says she was looking for stickers. Well, she did. She went through there and she found several things that people had thrown off with stickers. And when she peeled the stickers back, stickers were for free food. You hear her in the background. So that's how we got our biscuits. And she had she says, "You're welcome, Mom." Okay, Jessica. I think they can hear you too. She was so excited. She was so excited she got those stickers. Now I have to say I did eat those biscuits. I must admit I did. All right. John says, I like Trader Joe's. I like Trader Joe's too, John. They have been keeping their prices stable, not much prices going up. That's a good thing to hear. All right. Aldi generally has better prices than Walmart. I would agree. But I'll tell you who has the best price, the absolute best prices, I think, is a Grocery Outlet. I think it beats all of them hands down. But they have limited supplies. They don't have a lot of name brand, and you have to get what you can get when it's there, because I got some dog food there at half price, a big bag for half price, and I only got one bag, and I went back. I looked up online, and I said, oh my God, this is half price, or less than half price. I went back the next day. They were all gone. So in those kind of stores, you have to get what they have when they have it, because you go back, just like used to be in the 99-cent store. If you didn't get it when you saw it, if it was a name brand or something, you may not ever see it there again. So, but I love Grocery Outlet. I really love Grocery Outlet. All right. Catherine says, oh no, HMO was good back in the day. Not so much now, I guess. Vaughn says, Luna, Batty, my neighbor gets the lottery tickets that people throw on the ground and enters them in the second chance lottery. That's very smart. That's very smart. But don't tell Jess. She'll start doing that too. keep it down. Don't tell her. Don't say it. Go GBO searcher says my company switched their retiree benefits to an advantage program. It was good until every doctor I went to dropped out of the network. Wow. I went back to the regular Medicare and TRICARE for life. I'm good. Yeah, I know. A lot of them have been dropping out of the network. All right. Luna Batty says, but I agree. There are lots of deals out there. There are. And I'll tell you, like I said, I'm going to do a video on ways to get free food, and I will hopefully be able to do it and post it next week. But I think it'll be some good information because I love giving you good information that can help you. But these are some things that um, I have found out ways to get free food, and I'm going to make and to get extra money that's not real hard. Maybe this way is enough to get maybe $120 a month, but $120 a month if you don't have much is can be a lot. So and this is not the video on that I'm going to do that can get up to 500 or more a month, but this is another video that I'm going to incorporate into how to get free food and maybe get another maybe $100 a month. All right, folks, I've got to go. Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be there at 5 o'clock. All right, folks, I will see you later. And I know I'm gonna miss some of these great, oh my gosh, comments, but stay tuned. Go check the video from this morning. Any of my moderators, would you please drop the link to your channel? Oh my gosh, all these comments that I'm missing. I am so sorry. Moderators, would you um yeah, I see Chris Korea says don't forget some people have no available transportation. Absolutely, that is so true. Um uh yeah, a lot of people. Hey, Letha, I didn't see you in here. But all right. Moderators, quickly drop your links if you want to. Nora is not on YouTube, but she has a Etsy account, Nora K at Etsy. Go over and check it for beautiful artwork if you need a gift for the holidays coming up. And if you're new and the first time in this house on the live, would you put a number 1 so I can acknowledge you? And if you're a content creator and want me to call you out, put a C, but I got to do it quick and in a hurry. Thank you, Liza. Yeah, if you're not a subscriber, would you go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button so you can know when new videos are coming out? And any of you who are subscribers, go back and check because for some reason YouTube has been unsubscribing people just randomly. So go back and check and make sure you are subscribed still if you were subscribed. And if you're not, what are you waiting for? More good information content coming up. And Barbara Tubbs says, thank you, Gloria. Carol, I'm Carol, but so many people call me Gloria, I know, for another great video. Thank you. It says, oh my God, I went to Sam's to get salmon. I used to pay $25 today. It was $35. Wow. Yep. Yep. That's an increase of what? 20%? Yeah, 20%. No, 25 to 35 is 10% would be 250, 246. So that's an increase of 40%, right? 40%. Wow. All right, folks. I'll see you next time. Let's see. Okay, let's see. We've got Liza Beckerman. Go over and check out Liza's channel. And hey, Liz AB7 is first time in the house. Well, welcome, Liz. Welcome. Uh, Folks, you know how we do greet our first time in the house. Canuck girl. Hey, Canuck girl. Welcome. And Letha is saying welcome to folks. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Liza. I love giving information. I know I've got Timmons. I gotta Zoom. Oh, all right. Okay, folks. Anyone else? I love each and every one of you. Please go check out the video from today. I want it to get to 10,000 views. I want people to see it and share it out. And let me know. Let me know after you watch it if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, if you think I'm off the rails, or if you think I'm onto something and really maybe hitting the nail on the head in that video. All right, folks, I love each and every one of you, and I will see you next week. All right.